Do you know that you have a very, very important leverage when it comes to building immune resiliency? Stay tuned to find out more about what can help you to make our immune system stronger and deal with the current situation and sort of feel better, healthier, right? So, in this session today, I share with you my 7 tips to help you build a stronger immune system. In other words, build immune resiliency. And I also share with you a free guide that I have created specially for you. And it's I will be sharing the reason why I have chosen to create this guide. It's called 5 Ways of Getting a Good Night's Sleep, and it's designed to help you achieve better sleep and support your immune system. And you can grab that download at anindita.com/sleep, anindita.com/sleep. But getting back to the topic at hand, today is all about immune resiliency. And I am sort of carrying on from where I left off last week. If you missed the session last week, last Friday, make sure that you check it out, because in that session I talked about 5 ways that you can tell if you have a weak immune system. And carrying on from that topic, today I am sharing with you 7 tips to build immune resiliency. Archana, thank you for joining. I know there is another viewer right now. Just drop in and say hi so that I know that you are there, since I can't make out. So let's get started. The number one tip, the number one and the most important leverage that you have is food. In functional medicine and in traditional medicines like Ayurveda, traditional Chinese medicine, we all understand and appreciate the importance of food. Food as medicine, right? And that means a nutrient rich whole foods diet, which means as much as home cooked food filled with nutrients, fresh produce, and most importantly, lots of vegetables. And the easiest way to do this is to make sure that you are eating the colors of the rainbow in your diet, right? So that means that, and that's one easy way of ensuring that you are getting a variety of nutrients. This is something that I teach my own private coaching clients in my own health coaching practice. So the first step that we take towards healing from any kind of serious chronic health issues, but it's also the first step if you're trying to build immune resiliency. So focusing on food as medicine, focusing on the colors of the rainbow in your diet. Of course, I'm talking about the natural colors of fruits and vegetables. There's a reason why they come in different colors. They're packed with nutrients, specifically phytonutrients, which help us fight off infections and support the immune system. Because think about it, how do plants support themselves? How do plants protect themselves actually? How do they protect themselves from predators? Because they can't run away, right? They can't flee from the place that they are in. So they have evolved to produce these phytonutrients, which gives these brilliant colors and a lot of variety. Even for herbs and spices, so the barks of a plant like a cinnamon, or the buds or the leaves or the stems, different parts of the plant produce certain chemicals to ward off insects, germs, and other predators, right? And that's something that your body cannot produce naturally, and that's why you need to get it from those plants. So eating the colors of the rainbow ensures that you're getting a whole variety of nutrients. The other thing is also to focus on herbs and spices, which are a big part of our Indian diet. So that's helpful. So focusing on garlic and a lot of the cinnamons and the coriander, they are also antimicrobial in nature. So in other words, a whole food diet, fresh produce, is the way to begin. The second tip that I want to share with you is to increase your zinc intake. And I'm again talking about food here. Zinc is found in oysters, meats, mushrooms, and even in some seeds like sesame, and most importantly, pumpkin. Actually, pumpkin is a good source of zinc. And zinc is very necessary for immune function, and it's responsible for the development and the function of immune cells. So increasing zinc intake is important. and I'm talking about food here. So ensure that you're having an adequate amount of seeds. I like to ensure that my kids and even uh, my husband and I have zinc primarily through food, through the seeds that we put in the smoothies every day. So that we are getting it on a daily basis, right? So that's zinc. That's number two. Number three is vitamin A and D. These are both fat soluble vitamins, and they work synergistically. That means they work hand in hand. And one of the best sources of vitamins A and D is cod liver oil. That's found in a supplement form, and that's something again that I ensure that my kids take, and I have just started that for the rest of my family members in this season, cold and flu season, right? So it's a very good way of increasing your intake of vitamin D and A. Of course, if you can't take cod liver oil for some reason, then you can vitamin D is best obtained from the sun. So making sure that you're getting regular and adequate sun exposure. And Vitamin D is also found in eggs. It's found in salmon. But yes, one of the easiest way to get vitamin D is to get some sun exposure on a daily basis. Vitamin A is found in a lot of the orange colored vegetables. It's also found in salmon, which incidentally is also orange in color, sweet potato, carrots, etc. Spinach, also some of the other vegetables as well. But again, so focusing on vitamins A and D, and if possible, in synergy, which is found in cod liver oil. The fourth tip that I want to share with you is for probiotics and prebiotics. So probiotics are the beneficial microbes, in particular the bacteria and the yeast, the bifidobacterium, the lactobacillus species, which are found inside our gut, okay, as a part of the ecosystem that we have residing in our gut. We have a symbiotic relationship with them that has evolved over centuries, over millions of years. And we depend on them for a number of things. These beneficial microbes, they not only train our immune system to differentiate between friend and foe, they also help regulate the immune response. So a gut dysbiosis can lead to a lot of downstream effects down the line. Okay, so making sure that your gut microbiome and the trillions of microbes are happy is up to you. And it all starts with the foods that you have. You can also get some of these beneficial microbes through a whole variety of fermented foods, whether it's sauerkraut, whether it's kimchi, even fermented vegetables that you can make at home. There's plenty of recipes out there. Kefir is another very good source. And of course, even the fermented dairy, which is your curd, paneer, some of the cheeses. So a lot of these fermented foods can help you to get a good source. They're good source of probiotics. And even a traditionally made Indian pickles, right? You don't need much of them, but having some amount of these fermented foods can go a long way. The other thing to remember is that prebiotics are foods which are non-digestible fibers naturally found in vegetables, which are again a source of food for your microbes in your gut. And prebiotics are a lot of the vegetables, including raw bananas, garlic, leeks, onions, asparagus, right? Some of these, and even whole grains for that matter. These are the food that your bacteria feed on. So think about it. Is the food that you're consuming for yourself or for the ecosystem that is there in your gut? In fact, now more and more we're getting to know that the primary objective is to feed our microbiome, so that it keeps us healthy. And for example, by helping to regulate the immune response, making sure that the immune system, appropriately tolerant, it responds when it needs to, it doesn't overreact. So all of these are very necessary for a good balanced immune response, and that's where your microbiome and the probiotics and the prebiotics come in. So far I've shared with you, number one is having a nutrient-rich whole foods diet. Number two is to increase your zinc intake through seeds, meats, mushrooms, and the seeds in particular that I mentioned are pumpkin and sesame, especially pumpkin. And yes, Archana, pumpkin seeds contain a whole lot of zinc. So that's a very simple way of getting the seeds. Number three was vitamins A and D. Vitamin D, of course, you can get from sunshine. It's free for all to make. And the other vitamin is vitamin A, and both of these are found synergistically in cod liver oil. So cod liver oil is a good way of getting both of them at the same time, and they work in tandem. Otherwise, you can also get it through foods like eggs, salmon, sweet potatoes, right, and also spinach. So some of these foods contain both of these. Prebiotics and probiotics. Probiotics are the microbes that reside in your gut, which is the beneficial bacteria, etc. And the health of this microbiome is sort of very intimately tied to your own health. So making sure that these bacteria are happy is actually one of the primary responsibility when we are consuming any kind of food. And prebiotics help to feed these bacteria. So prebiotics include all these non-digestible fibers which are naturally found in vegetables, especially in vegetables like raw bananas, leeks, garlics, onions, asparagus, and even whole grains for that matter. So these are the first four. Number 5 would be to have less sugar and refined foods, because research shows that sugar can suppress our immune response even hours down the line. And the other issue that I find, especially when we consume a whole lot of processed foods, which are typically high in refined sugars, especially the ones which are labeled low fat, what happens is that they crowd out a lot of the foods that we would have otherwise consumed. So they tend to crowd out the lot of the unprocessed whole foods, fresh whole foods. So for example, if somebody is reaching for a snack, if we are not reaching for a fruit or a whole grain or a makhana or something that is wholesome, we end up reaching for foods which are high in sugar and carbs, refined carbohydrates actually, which has hardly any fiber and very, very low in nutrients, right? So it crowds out the good foods, and your body cannot make up these nutrients, right? There is no pantry anywhere in your body, in any part of your body, for it to produce any of these nutrients. So you have to get it from food, right? So that's very important. So that's number 5. So consuming less sugar and refined foods. Number 6 is increasing protein intake. You would be aware of most of the sources of protein. They're found in the animal protein form, in chicken, fish, seafood, eggs, and in plant proteins in legumes, chickpeas, rajma, for example, all the lentils, pulses, and even some of the other whole grains, dairy. So protein is also very important for immune function and also for healing and repairing your body's tissues. That's where the protein intake also comes in. Protein is important for that as well, right? And last but not the least, sleep and adequate rest, which is good quality sleep and adequate rest. And by rest, I don't mean at the end of the day when you're sitting in front of the television and just changing channels or just surfing the net mindlessly, or just getting on the social media and just going through all the posts mindlessly. That's not what I mean by rest at all. Your body is not at rest. Your brain is not at rest, right? Because that's what most of us associated with resting. Just sacking out. That's not what I mean at all. What I mean is, being in a state or creating an environment where your brain and your body get the message that everything is okay and it's time to start winding down, and just sort of no stimulants. So that's where it becomes important to start having an evening ritual and a bedtime routine, especially as the evening comes up, and if you are aiming for a good night's sleep. That's extremely important, because often what we don't realize is that what we are doing throughout the day, specifically how we are managing stress throughout the day, has a direct impact on the quality of sleep that we will be getting at night, or how fast we can fall asleep at night. There is a major connection there. So making sure that you're taking adequate breaks during the day. To take short breaks, that's fine as well. Get some rest, especially as the evening comes, and start winding down and having some kind of ritual in place, having some kind of a non-stimulating routine that you can set up goes a long way, right? And the reason I'm talking so much about sleep and rest is because it's critical for building immune resiliency, for healing, repairing, and restoring your body. And that's exactly the reason I have also created a free guide that you can download at anindita.com/sleep, anindita.com/sleep. So in today's session, I shared with you 7 tips that you can implement today to help build immune resiliency, right? Number 1 tip was having a nutrient-rich whole foods diet, fresh, homemade diet, mostly plant-based, lots of vegetables, fruits of different colors, eating the colors of the rainbow. The second one was increasing zinc intake through foods which are high in zinc, in particular the seeds which are like pumpkin and sunflower seeds, even eggs, meats, etc. The vitamins A and D, which work in tandem and found in cod liver oil, are also very important for immune function. The number 4 was probiotics and prebiotics. Probiotics are are found in fermented foods like sauerkraut, kimchi, kefir, even fermented vegetables that you can make at home, pickles for that matter, fermented dosas to some extent, the yogurts, right? So having a variety of these foods can be really helpful in supporting your gut health. And the other thing is to have a lot of, again, non-digestible fibers in the form of vegetables, which help to feed these, probiotics, which is typically found in, again, vegetables like garlic, leeks, onions, and even whole grains for that matter. Then the 6th one I had mentioned was protein intake. So making sure that you're having adequate protein through either plant source or animal source. And the last but not the least is sleep and getting enough rest, right, so that your body can get a chance to recover, repair, and restore itself, right? And if you liked what I had to say, share this with your friends so that they can also benefit from having a good, healthy, robust immune system. And I have a brand new topic that I will be taking up from next week. So stay tuned.